Captain Marvel proved to be a big box office hit over the weekend. It made $153 million in North America. In its opening weekend, that is the biggest March opening ever.
Third biggest.
Sorry, third biggest. And the 7th biggest Marvel debut ever. The even more impressive numbers were the worldwide ones.
Yeah, so it made $455 million worldwide, with $89 million of that coming from China alone. That's the third biggest debut ever for a Marvel film there. And the $455 million figure makes it the 6th biggest worldwide debut of all time, just behind Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Well, yeah, Chris Evans, a.k.a. Captain America, tweeted, boom, congrats, Brie Larson. Well-deserved. The cinema score, that's the grade that people give the film as they come out of theaters, was an A, but that is not what's happening over on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, we told you a couple of weeks ago that Rotten Tomatoes removed the option to pre-score a film or vote if you wanted to see a movie because they noticed that trolls were attacking Captain Marvel. Well, within 24 hours of the film being released, Rotten Tomatoes has been inundated with scores, and it only sits at 58% approval from viewers. Do you think this is trolls at it again? Here's Brie surprising some audiences this weekend.
Marvel shirts for the weekend. Popcorn and I wanted to see for myself. So thank you so much for coming. You guys are so awesome to come like opening weekend. That's
So just so you know, before we get back to Captain America, Kate Beckinsale's ex-boyfriend before Pete Davidson was 21.
Yes.
Right, so even younger than Pete Davidson. So.
Yeah, so Addy says, once again, online boycotts of a movie proved totally effective, and he has like the laughing face. Yeah, of course it didn't affect the numbers.
Didn't it though?
I do think it would have been bigger.
Could it have been?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Because this is what happened with Black Panther too, and I don't think you could say that it affected Black Panther's numbers
I
at all.
think it was a different thing with Black Panther because I will say this about the Rotten Tomatoes stuff, where you can call trolls and you can say everything else, but having been inside that Star Wars world, when you look at the reviewed numbers for The Last Jedi and then the audience score for The Last Jedi, they are polar opposite.
Right.
But I agree with the audience reaction, not the critic reaction.
Right.
So that's one example where I look at those numbers and I'm like, the reviews are the ones that are bogus,
right,
not the audience score. So for something like, Captain America, how Brie Larson rolled this out, I like Brie Larson. I think she's talented. I can't wait to see Captain America. But Captain Marvel,
yeah.
Sorry, I can't wait to see Captain Marvel. I think she's awesome. I've always thought she's awesome. But I thought that the way that she sort of rolled this out, when she started in with the I don't want white males, doing all my press stuff, and I don't want this. What winds up happening is everybody else who's sort of in that Marvel universe, they all realize that they have their personal feelings towards things, but the characters they play and the world they play them in are bigger than themselves.
Right.
And I think that it was an overstep for Brie Larson with fans to sort of take that, make it personal, make it all about her when the characters are bigger than that. Because audiences did not have this reaction when it was Wonder Woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was no anti-female this with Wonder Woman because people love the character Wonder Woman. People love the character Captain Marvel. It's just what they say in the lead up to it, and it turns a lot of people off. And if they don't care that it turns a lot of people off, that's fine. Do it. I'm not saying don't do it. Live your life. But you have to expect this kind of stuff. And when negativity happens, you can't just blame it on trolls who don't know what they're talking about.
Shinley says, I love the movie entirely. Addie says the trolls are desperate and scared of a woman in the strong
That's
world.
not true. It's not true.
Dexter says bitter men. But there's absolutely an element to that, because I've read backlash about Captain Marvel that, it's too much of a feminist thing. It's just
no.
Well, let me
it's not about a female character.
Okay.
It's not about a female character. It's never about a female character, but you can go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a part in the movie where usually happens in most superhero movies that, there's a moment where they have to find the strength within themselves.
Sure.
And, someone's bashing her and she says, they're bashing her because she's human.
Right.
So she eventually says, I am human. That's almost a strength of mine. You see all these flashbacks of all these times she's fallen as a child. And so people are taking that, that's her moment of being a feminist. She's being knocked down. She's standing back up again. And even she doesn't even say I'm a female. She says I'm a human.
Right.
I mean, I just watched Aquaman last night, and there's the same kind of moment in that movie where Nicole Kidman says to him, they don't need a king, they need a hero. And the two women stand there, watch him go do his battle for the trident. So if that was reversed in sexism, it would be a totally different conversation. So I get, going through these growing pains, if we're going to have this different representation, we're going to have these things where people look to moments that are always in superhero movies, but because the roles are reversed, that people think, oh, here we go, here's the big, minority moment, here's the big feminist moment, when these moments are always in superhero movies, just because it's in a different representation that people want to start bashing them and read into them and stuff. And I realize it creates conversation. It does get annoying at a certain point that movies that feature white men as heroes are just seen as, action movies and whatever, when these ones that are coming up get so much more scrutinized over every little single thing.
I highly disagree with you,
okay.
and I'll tell you why. One, it didn't happen with Wonder Woman. Right?
Well,
people embraced Wonder Woman. They embraced the character Wonder Woman. That movie did incredible at the box office. It didn't happen. It's when the actors or the publicity machine start dismissing the audience, which is what they did with Captain Marvel. Because I'll tell you right now, all the fanboys who are accused of being trolls, right, to say that they won't embrace a female star in these movies is so wrong, because I guarantee every single one of them that's being accused of a troll loves Sarah Connor and loves Ripley from Alien. Those are two movies that they grew up on and watched repeatedly that are both led by women, and it never mattered. It's only when the narrative becomes you're not important to a specific audience that's when you get these so-called trolls coming out. Because it didn't happen with Wonder Woman, it never happened with Terminator, and it never happened with Alien. And it's the same fans.
Well, we have to wonder, too, that means social media wasn't a thing back then, right?
But fans are fans, though. Then a boycott would happen. You wouldn't go see these movies. I wouldn't have Alien on every single format Alien was ever released on if I didn't want to watch a movie with a woman.
Right, but if the social media boycott had really been affected with Captain Marvel, it wouldn't be the sixth biggest opening in the world ever, or the seventh biggest Marvel's movie, or third
but
biggest
But it could have been number one. You don't know.
I know, but you don't know what happened.
No,
if Twitter was around when Aliens came out,
it's not the same thing, because they never insulted the audience. And what Brie Larson did was insult as a huge portion of the audience.
Yeah. Okay.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. Listen, I'm still going to go see the movie.